All right, so we've got our tile map and movement set up. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create some things that we can drop on the floor that we can pick up for points. So let's create some new images here, and we'll just use more built-in assets. I always like using these. Let's use the bigger ones now since we're using 16 by 16. So burger, okay, and then pizza, very delicious pizza, and of course we need the taco. Okay, and let's go ahead and get a donut in there. Homer Simpson would be happy. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do one more here. We'll go with the chicken leg here, or turkey leg, I don't know. Let's call it chicken. Okay, so we've got our 5 foods here. Now I want these to be placed into an array of foods. So here I'm going to have my foods array. So we'll say let foods equal this, and then we'll put our images here, assets.image, and then we'll put each one, burger. I'm just going to copy and paste this and rename all of these. Pizza, taco, donut, and chicken. There we go. Now we've got our foods all laid out here. That's good. Now I want to create a function that's going to place food on the screen. And we'll set that down here. We'll say, actually let's push all this controller stuff down. I think it'll be, we don't have to worry about that now. So I'm just going to create a here function, place food. And this is going to be place a single piece of food. So we're going to have a let food sprite equal sprites.create. Now for the image, I actually want to randomly choose from my array, and there are quite a few ways that we can do this. But I believe we actually have a built-in way of doing this, if I remember correctly. And do this. And okay, yeah, there is a way of doing this. We choose our list, foods, and then dot pick random. Now this is a private function. I don't know why they have a private function here, but this is the way they do it. So we're going to use that with the, make sure you have the underscore in front, and that'll pick a random food from the list of foods. And that way we don't have to use randint and find the index and do all that stuff. We can just pick the random thing with the built-in function here. So if I call this now, it's gonna should place one. If I just do it right on at the global scale, puts a big old piece of chicken out here. Why is that chicken so much bigger? Are these all 32? Did I screw up here? They are all 32. Whoops. Let's change these to the smaller ones, 16. All right, do this again. Sorry about that. We'll do this again. I forgot those are massive. For some reason, I thought we were able to use those. Do we have the smaller donut? We do have a smaller donut. And taco, smaller taco. And pizza, smaller pizza. There we go. All right, back here. Now the chicken gets placed right on the center of the screen. If I recycle, it will choose a random one and place one of the random ones on the screen there. I don't want it to go to right here though. I want to set the position randomly. That's kind of a problem though, because we are using a tile map. So the screen width, if I console log screen width, What happens if I console log that? Is it going to be bigger now because I have more stuff? No, it's still going to be 160, and that's because the width of the screen hasn't changed even though the tile map is there. So if I try to place it randomly here, it's only going to place it in this screen, but I want to place it anywhere on this map. So how do I get the width of the map? Well, I have to actually call that map here. So what if I console log tilemap.width 16? Wait, that's even less. But what that is actually, it means 16 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I count these, it's 16 tiles wide. So how many pixels is that? Well, my character is 16 by 16, and he's essentially one tile. So these tiles are also 16 pixels. So if I multiply this by 16, I can get the actual screen size, the actual width. So I'm going to create two new things. I'm going to say let width equal tilemap.width times 16, and let height equal tilemap.height. Now the reason I want to do this, what if I change my tile map so it's more wide than it is high or whatever like that. So doing this dynamically is very helpful, and this will give us a place to work with. But how do we place our location here? Well, I need to pick a random X, and it needs to be between. I don't want it to be in the wall, which means I need to add 16 to my offset plus half of the width of the food sprite. So X offset equals 16 plus food sprite dot width divided by 2. And then the same thing for Y offset. And then this will be height divided by 2. So now my new X, I can even just put X. My new X, or my X placement for this is going to be rand int, and it's going to be between X offset and width minus X offset. So that's going to prevent it from being within the right wall there. And then we'll say let Y equal rand int Y offset, and then screen.height minus Y offset. So it's going to make sure that it's in between these boundaries here. And now I'll just set the food sprite dot set position X, Y. Let's go ahead and put it here. Oh, whoops. Did I do that the wrong order? No. Oh, whoops. Sorry. For some reason I thought I could put that above, but I have to have the food sprite to get the food sprite. There we go. Interesting. It placed it there. It's always on the screen. That's very weird. Why is that always on the screen? Oh, because I have screen height on. Let me change that. That's not supposed to be screen height. That's just supposed to be height. But still, it should be off the screen. Did I call this before I set height and width? Oh, I called my function before I set height and width, so it doesn't know what height and width are, so it set those to 0. Now it's more like it, so now I have to move around to actually find, there's the food, okay. And if I do it again, it'll be, there's the food. Okay, great. There's the food, cool. So we know how to place our food now. And we have it placing randomly. So we have a function that we can call whenever we want. If I were to put this here within our onUpdate, this is going to be bad, but I just want to show you. Look at that. Whoa, food going everywhere. We're placing food. We're going to be placing it at 30 frames per second. So we don't want to do that. We're going to have to try to figure out an interval to place our food.